Assalamu alaikum students. I'm Zahra Hashmi, your English teacher here. I hope you all are happy and healthy. In today's lesson, we are going to read the remaining part of the story from your reader, The Indigo Jackal. We were reading the story Friends. Mark and Joseph are two very good friends who live in a small village, and for shopping they go to the nearest town. And the path to the town, it goes through a dangerous forest. And one day they're coming back from the shopping trip, and they're moving through that path. Joseph is continuously singing jolly tunes, is being playful, and Mark is stopping him and is saying that they might attract a wild animal, and this is what happens. A big, furious bear, brown, shaggy bear, standing on its hind legs, is right is following them, and right in front of them. They are terrified. Now, when the bear starts moving towards them, Joseph, who was making jokes and saying that even if the bear comes, they are two and bear is one, so they'll deal with it. But then what he do? He climb up the tree. He just started climbing. Let's see what happens now. Climb like a monkey very quickly high up into the tree. The bear continued down the path towards Mark. It was now very close, and Mark had a little time to think. But he had to do something. He could not just stand there and wait for the bear. So, in a flash, he fell to the ground and lay in a heap. He closed his eyes and breathed gently. He pretended to be dead. The bear came closer and closer until it got to Mark. It bent down till its front paws were on the ground. Here is Joseph. Look, he is at the top of the tree looking down. What is going to happen with Mark? He has left his friend alone. Then, very gently, it pushed Mark's arm with one hairy paw. Mark did not move. The bear bent closer to Mark's face and sniffed. Its snout touched his cheek. Mark wanted to shout or cry or leap up and run away, but he could not. He kept his eyes tightly closed. The bear sniffed and poked Mark from head to toe. Then it grunted and growled in his ear. It scratched the earth with its claws, stood up, looked round, and staggered into the forest. There were the sounds of branches being parted and twigs being snapped. Then there was silence. Look, Mark is lying down on the ground and Bear is sniffing him. Oh my god, it must have been awful. It is said by those who know that bears never attack a dead body. Mark had heard this from his grandfather, and that is why he had not moved. Whether or not this is true, he was not harmed that day, but he was frightened. After the bear had gone, Mark lay still and listened. He opened one eye, then the other. He could not see much. Even with his eyes open, they were full of tears. But the bear had gone, and he was safe. Mark sat up. He drew his legs up to his chest, wrapped his arms round his knees, and shivered. Joseph had watched all this from the safety of the tree. He had been well hidden by the leaves, and had not made a sound. When the bear had gone and it was safe, he climbed down from the tree. Well, well, said Joseph, clapping his hands and laughing. That was not a rabbit, was it? It was a big bear. Yes, said Mark, and it had something to say, cried Joseph. I saw it putting its snout near your ear. What did it whisper to you? Was it a joke? No, said Mark. Then what did it say? Asked Joseph. The bear gave me some advice, replied Mark. And what was that? Asked Joseph. The bear told me never to travel with a friend who runs away when danger is near, replied Mark. Mark walked off along the path and Joseph followed behind. Joseph was not laughing or whistling now. He was feeling sad. He had not helped his friend. Look at two men going back home, and now Joseph is very serious. He's not playful at all because he knows deep down inside that he has made a mistake by leaving his friend alone. Friends are those who stand by each other through thick and thin in every difficulty. And it so seemed that Joseph wasn't a true friend for Mark after all. I think it was an interesting story. I enjoyed reading it to you. I hope you've also enjoyed reading it with me. And now it's time for homework task. You have to identify adjectives on page number 10 and 11 of your reader and color them green. If you don't have the reader, no problem, just replay the lecture, reread with me. And the first two pages we've read today are pages number 10 and 11 of your reader. So reread those pages and identify adjectives, write them on your notebook. And once you've completed your task, email me at zahrahashmi83 at gmail.com. That's all for today. Have a fabulous day.